this team had a lot of opportunities in the first half to really, show to remind the Saints that, hey, you're not that great of a football team.
Right.
And they just lack the killer instinct right now. They don't do a great job of, taking advantage when teams are giving them opportunities.
Yeah.
And when you let a team hang around you end up in a situation like you do down here. And quite frankly, it's great that they came away with the win. I don't know that they necessarily deserved it because the way that fourth quarter played out was pretty awful for the Commanders.
Yeah, it was. And let's address the clock stoppage. I mean, clearly just a super egregious problem there. The NFL, I don't know if you saw the pool report.
I did.
It's an absolute joke.
We can't review it.
Hockey says it's not reviewable. That's
Get
all
out
I
of
have
here.
for you. And he just totally sold. One ref came running over. I guess that was the opposite end zone.
Right.
And signaled to stop the clock. What are you doing? They don't have timeouts. He's in bounds. If
not in the end
Washington
zone,
had
right.
lost, if they convert that two-pointer, this thing goes nuclear. Dude, if you lose because of that, and dude, the folks down here are very polite, but they're like, oh, they would have gotten the playoff anyway. You had 3 seconds. That joint was frozen far more than 3 seconds. You would not have gotten the playoff.
Yeah, I don't know
You
about
would
far
not.
more. It would have been very, very close.
That joint seemed closer to 4 seconds than 3.
Yes, absolutely,
Because you
I
could
agree.
see the game clock ticking down.
Yeah, I mean, it's egregious that
play
happened.
clock, rather.
And for all the things with the expedited reviews by the NFL and their referees, to not be able to address that in that moment is pretty tough. And to me, even though they spiked the ball with 3 seconds left, and that technically would have ended the time frame that they would be able to get that review in, that's something that you got to be able to look at the next stoppage and adjust the clock to where it should be. Because,
agree.
quite frankly, that almost cost the Commanders not just this game, but we're talking bigger picture here.
There's a whole lot of sliding doors.
That would have been.
start
I mean, that
changing
would have been
there.
unbelievable had they lost this game and
It's
you're
a
tied with
it's
the
a
Rams.
major bullet dodged for the NFL, frankly.
And for the Commanders too, because quite frankly, like we said, I mean, they had opportunities all game long to do it, and they never took advantage.
Well,
of
dude,
it.
I asked Jaden if he was watching the clock when it froze like that. He's like, nah, man, I was still mad that we didn't go score. The offense could have sealed this thing a lot.
Right.
Now, there's going to be a lot of consternation about the kick, the 54-yard field goal attempt. I'll be honest, I like the call. I think it's consistent with what they built with an aggressive, we're going to win this game mindset. And Joseph had enough leg on it. It just sailed on him. I don't know. I probably don't make that call if it's a outdoor game, but you're climate controlled. You got everything you want here. It wasn't a very good snap. The snaps all day. Mike Dieter's a super nice kid, but there were some pretty questionable snaps coming from him. You lose Biotish, kind of a surprise because he's really sick.
Yeah.
Saw him in the locker room with the mask on. Who knows?
I mean, Dan Quinn after the game talked about Biotish had just said he had a super high temperature. He tried to come out here, but when you're a big guy and you have high temperatures, we've seen it right here on this very show.
Right.
Things get a little warm, the sweat starts trickling. All of a sudden, you can't stay hydrated. You start cramping up.
What'd you think about that decision? I'm cool with it.
In the moment, we were talking about in the press box.
You were leaning punt, it sounded.
I was leaning punt because you've had so many kicker issues this season. Tyler Ott, I'm not even going to address because it was a questionable snap, but for the most part, he's been pretty good.
Yeah.
There's just been a ton of kicker issues.
You are on your 7th kicker.
Right. And quite frankly,
like a Spinal Tap
Tress
drummer.
Way for a long time has been a superstar in the special teams world for the Commanders. Do you want the game on the leg of your, Pro Bowl punter or 7th kicker? And you're going against a rookie QB. I'd rather him have to go 80 yards or 90 yards, or if Tress gets a good one off, 95 yards or something along those lines, than go 50 to try and get the win. And, I don't the field goal attempt is fine. I'm not crazy one way or the other about it, but I do think it warranted a little more thought/discussion because after the game when Dan Quinn talked to us, he just said, hey, we had it. If we get inside the 38-yard line, we're going to go for it. We're going to kick the field goal. So they knew what they had a plan, and that's what they were going to go with.